In the Aceh village of Lamtoyi, children play in the streets and farmers plant rice in the fields. In 2004, the tsunami that inundated communities in 11 countries destroyed this village. Village leader Arrahman Yusuf and most of the people of Lamtoyi fled to the hills before the tsunami hit. He says he thought it was the end of the world. But what followed one of the greatest natural disasters in history was one of the greatest humanitarian relief efforts in history. International aid helped rebuild the village. The effort united the people of Indonesia and helped end Aceh's 30-year separatist war. With peace came new requests for aid. Many areas of Aceh affected by the tsunami received assistance not just to rebuild, but also to help people recover after years of war. Lamtoyi received funds to build a school where today children practice verses from the Quran. And villagers were given goats to produce milk and meat, creating new, sustainable sources of income. But much of the international aid was for tsunami victims only. Bobby Anderson works on post-conflict programs with the International Office for Migration. He says areas damaged by the war but not affected by the tsunami are being left behind.
There's a perception now that there's almost like two Acehnese.
The village of Lamdorian was not hit by the tsunami, but some of the victims were relocated here. Village leader Ali Endi says helping the tsunami victims was the right thing to do. He says they have to put first the ones who got into trouble by accident. But he says his village's development was stifled by the war. As its name suggests, Lamdorian relies on growing durian fruit. Endi says his village is entitled to some assistance. He says he is going to feel a bit desperate because at the moment they can see the tsunami victims are getting very good housing and they would like the same kind of housing. Anderson says the generous tsunami aid creates unrealistic expectations for conflict victims.
A lot of the time at the grassroots level, if you don't have adequate socialization of what the government is going to deliver, then people just talk themselves up into a frenzy about how much they're going to get, and frankly it just isn't that much.
Anderson says the international community is starting to address the discrepancy, but he says the dramatic images of the tsunami's devastation elicited unprecedented levels of donations, while Aceh's post-conflict needs are not as well known or well funded. Brian Padden, VOA News, Banda Aceh.